Hi guys. So we are back and we're going to continue our work with dividing in fractions, and we're going to be including mixed numbers today. So again, just continuing to build up. We've started with whole number and fraction, then two fractions. Now we're into whole numbers. So we're going to go through this. You guys will do your problematics. You'll come to Zoom, and then that will be that. And also remember, tomorrow is Friday. It is assessment day, so there won't be a video tomorrow, and you'll do your assessment instead. So just keep that in mind. All right. So, dividing with fractions and mixed numbers is pretty much going to be the exact same thing that we've been doing, except we're going to change any mixed numbers to improper fractions before we start our process. That's the only thing that's going to be different. So let's try 2 divided by 2 and 3/4. I'm going to keep my 2, change to multiplication, and then I need to change this 2 and 3/4 here to an improper. 4 times 2 is going to be 8, plus 3 will be 11/4. And I'm going to put this 2 over 1. So again, so this would be 2 divided by 11/4, and then it becomes, oh, sorry, this should be flipped if I flip it. And then now this is 2 times 4/11, because we did our keep, change, flip. 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 11 is 11. So this would be 8/11. All right, so I will let you guys get that down for a sec. And remember, at the end, you're going to have to do like a little summary, so make sure that you're keeping note of these steps. All right, let's try a couple more. So 2 1/2, first thing we're going to do is we're going to change this. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 would be 5/2. And that's going to be our keep. Change to multiplication, and then 1/4 becomes 4 over 1 for our flip. 5 times 4 is 20, 2 times 1 is 2. 20 over 2 is going to be 10. All right, now let's try 5 times 1 2/3. So remember, this 1 2/3 here, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5/3. So 5 is our keep. Change to multiplication. And then our flip, 5/3, is going to become 3 over 5. So we changed 1 2/3 to an improper, which is 5/3, and then we flipped it because it's division. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 5 is 5. 15 over 5 is 3. All right, 3 1/2 divided by 2, 2 1/3. So here we actually have two mixed numbers, so it's going to be a little bit longer of a process. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7/2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7/3. So now 7/2 is going to be my keep. Change to multiplication. And then 7/3 is going to become 3/7. 7 times 3 is 21. 2 times 7 is 14. 21 over 14, I can divide both those numbers by 7. 21 divided by 7 is 3. 14 divided by 7 is 2. And then 3/2, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 more would give us 3/2. So 1 1/2 is the same as 3/2. All right, let's get into some stories. You bought a dog food that has 20 cups in it. Bruno and Dozer together, they eat 3 1/3 cups each day. How many days will the food last? So we need to divide that 20 cups into groups of 3 1/3. 20 is our keep because that's what we have in front of us. That's what we're dividing. 3 1/3, 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10/3. So if I do my keep, change, flip, 20 over 1 stays the same, times 3/10. 20 times 3 is 60. 1 times 10 is 10. So the food would last 60 over 10, which is 6 days. Because 60 divided by 10 would be 6. So the food would last 6 days. All right, you have 6.5 yards of yarn. Each bracelet requires 1/4 of a foot. How many bracelets can you make? So we have 6.5, and we're splitting that up into 1/4 foots. So first thing we need to do is change this to an improper. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13/2. And then times 4 over 1 if I do my keep change flip. So 13 halves is my keep. Change to multiplication. 1/4 becomes 4 over 1 if I flip. And then 13 times 4 is actually 52 over 2 times 1, which is 2. 52 over 2 would be 26 bracelets. All right. You buy 3.5 pounds of turkey. You make 7 sandwiches with it. How much is in each sandwich? So we are dividing 3.5 pounds into 7 sandwiches. 3.5 would be 2 times 3, which is 6, plus 1 is 7 halves. So we have 7 halves. And that's our keep. Change to multiplication. Times 1/7 if I do my flip. 7 times 1 is 7. 2 times 7 is 14. And now 7 and 14 can both be divided by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 14 divided by 7 is 2. So each sandwich has 1/2 pound. All right, and last one. You need to walk 4.5 miles. So that's our total. And we stop every 1/4 mile. What's going on? Oh, there we go. Okay. So how many times did we stop? We're splitting up that 4.5 miles into quarter groups. 4.5, we need to change that to an improper. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9 halves. Divided by, change it. So this is our keep. Change to multiplication. And then times 4 over 1. 9 times 4 is 36 over 2, because 2 times 1 is 2. 36 over 2 is 18 times. That's a lot of times. All right. So now you guys are going to write your 3 to 4 sentence summary and then head over to the problematic. And then I will see you on Zoom at 10:30. All right. Bye, guys. I miss you.